Hello, everyone, and happy Financially Lit Tuesday. Back every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., bringing you news, tips, and tricks on how to wealth up. Thank you all for joining me today. If you are joining in from the YouTube channel Sipping Wealth, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any Financially Lit Tuesdays. And if you're tuning in from Facebook, go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section and let me know who's tuned in with me. Just say, hey, girl, something, so that we could go ahead and get into the topic today. So, as you may know, of course, it is tax time. Woo! It's about that time of the year. It's like Christmas all over again, you know? No, but it is tax time. Tax officially begins on Monday, like literally less than 7 days from now. It's on and popping. The IRS is going to be accepting returns and then working on getting you all your refunds or telling you what you owe, right? So I wanted to make sure that I got on live tonight and talk to you all about choosing a tax professional and whether or not you need one or not. Because last year a lot has happened with the new acts that came into place. You have the child tax credit, you have the stimulus, you have people that started new businesses, or even side hustles and hobbies. Maybe you started a new job, maybe you relocated. Just so many things that could have gone on throughout, last year. Of course, if you have any questions, it is live, so you can go ahead and drop a question in the chat, and I'll answer it for you live. So I want to really dive into, like I said, whether or not you need a tax professional or not. So if you're a single person and maybe you just have one W-2 and that's it, it's just very straightforward. You're just filing single, a W-2 or maybe two W-2s, and that's it. Very straightforward. I'd say you can file your taxes on your own. Honestly, there are tons of free softwares out there. The IRS websites even offers tax filing for free. If you do have like a very simple tax return. So simple returns like that, go ahead and do that. There's no reason in really going to a tax professional to help you out or, pay a tax professional. Unless you're like, hey, I really want to support them. So why not come to Grand Rev? um, but the other thing is like, hey, if you are self-employed, this is where things get a little iffy. You're self-employed, maybe you have rental income, maybe you're like, hey, I have an extra property, or you bought an extra property, or maybe you rented out your property and you're like, I want to earn some extra income, or maybe you started some investment accounts. Let me know some of the things that you all did last year. You can drop it in the comment section. Are you all self-employed? Do you have any rental, real estate income? Maybe even investments? Did you get into the stock market last year? Or maybe your income grew and you're like, oh shoot, like what is my taxes gonna look like? Because my income grew from 2020. So maybe that's the case. So you definitely want to look into getting someone more experienced, of course, so that you can make sure that you're paying the least amount and, taking advantage of credits, because there are tons of credits out there. I mean, thousands of dollars in credits go literally millions of dollars in credits go unclaimed every year. And you don't want that to be you. So make sure that you're sitting down with a tax professional in this case. If you're not just, hey, straightforward, I have a W-2 and I'm just a single person. But if you have, those different sources of income, then make sure you have a tax professional involved, a knowledgeable tax professional, I would say. So there's, like I said, practical reasons of hiring a tax professional. So maybe some of the services that you do is like, pest control, or maybe you're a fitness trainer. Maybe you're like, hey, I want to get into training people, and you got into things like that. You want to get someone involved. You want to get a tax professional involved. And what better tax professionals than at STA, Strategic Tax Accountants, right? We can make sure that your books are in order so that you can file your taxes. If you're out there and you're like, I don't even know what I need to file my taxes, then go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section. Send us a message and direct message, and we will give you a tax checklist. Literally completely free. It's just for you so that you know what to bring to the tax table when it's time to file your taxes. If you're like, I don't even know. Like, I am lost. I guess my W-2 and some income statements. I don't know. Get that tax checklist. I literally made it for you all so you all know exactly what to bring to the table. So every example I named just about is tasks that you can perform yourself, obviously, but you also want to make sure that it's being properly stated on your taxes. Because one thing you don't want is IRS writing you a letter months from now or years from now saying, hey, you owe us money, or hey, that form that you're supposed to file on your taxes, you didn't. So definitely make sure that you're taking advantage of of doing it now the right way, so you don't have to pay again later and pay even more. So let's go over some life-changing events again. So some other things. Did you have a child last year? So my people that had a child last year, and you're like, man, am I going to get that child tax credit? Or do I get the stimulus for my child? Or maybe there was a death last year. Maybe you don't know what happened. Hey, Eni, what's up? Hey, or maybe you had a death in the family. You don't know, how to file the taxes for that person, or if you can, or if that was your spouse, or maybe it's a relative and you want to help them out and you want to make sure that they have knowledgeable information regarding the deceased party, or maybe there's an estate that has to go through tax filing, whatever the case may be. Did you have any inheritance? Did you open a new business? Did you buy a house? So these are larger events that trigger changes when it comes to IRS codes and tax laws. So on your own, it may be, a little more complicated. It will be more complicated than your simple tax filing that you do on TurboTax, and you're like, oh, what a W-2. And TurboTax asks you, do you have a W-2? And you're like, yes. And you put in all your numbers, right? It's not that simple, but this is a way where you can definitely make sure that, hey, these changes that happened last year, I'm making sure that I'm putting them on my taxes. I'm taking advantage of these credits, these deductions, things like that. Standard deduction. So the standard deduction increased like it does every year for inflation. So it's $12,550. So woohoo. The standard deduction is a specific amount that essentially the government gives you that you don't have to pay taxes on. So your taxable income is reduced by the standard deduction. For those of you that have, medical bills, maybe dental expenses, charitable contributions, now for this year's filing, everyone could take advantage of $350 in charitable contributions without having to itemize and all that other stuff. So that's an additional deduction that you could take advantage of. Just to throw that out there for y'all. All right. So these are different things that you want to be aware of. Are you self-employed? If you're a business owner, you really want to make sure that you get plugged in with a tax professional. Like, regardless, whatever, no matter what stage you are in your business, make sure that you get plugged in with a tax professional, because there are different things that you want to take advantage of. Even if you're just a startup, there are things that you want to put in place in your business so that you can strategically lower your tax liability as well. So we're all for refunds, we're all for credits and deductions and things like that. We also want to make sure that when we're filing our taxes, we're letting our tax professionals know what our goals are. So if you know that you want to purchase a house later on this year or next year, then you want to make sure that you're not taking every deduction in the world, right? You want to make sure you have a healthy gross income. Or maybe you're like, hey, I want to, depending on what you're wanting to do, make sure that your tax professional knows what your goals are so that they can put you in the best alignment. And if they don't know how to help you in that stance, then make sure that you come to Strategic Tax Accountants and we'll help you out. So You all, time is a virtue. Time is going to be probably the most best thing that you have right now, because the most scarce thing that you have right now, because the IRS is already backed up. They have over $10 million in refunds that weren't even distributed and processed from 2020. So 2021 taxes being delayed is not even a question. Whether or not they're going to be delayed is not even a question. They are, okay? Like, okay, so the earliest you can go in and get your taxes filed, the better. They have old tax returns from 2020 that they still have to process, like I just said. They have the stimulus that they have to process. They have the child tax credit that they have to process. So that's just a few, just to let you know how delayed the IRS is going to be this year. So if you for those of you that are going to file your taxes, make sure that you're doing it early. Go ahead and book your appointments. We already have our calendar available and out. We already have our clients booking. So if you know you need a particular day and time, make sure that you hurry up and book, because our calendar is filling up. Whether or not you want in office or virtual, there is the option. Whether you're in South Florida, Jacksonville, we could be able to assist you as well. Hey, Arthur, STA. Doesn't it have a great ring to it? Like, aren't y'all glad we changed our name to STA? It just, it rolls off the tongue. STA, Strategic Tax Accountants. But yes. Thank you, Arthur. Yes, you all make sure that you're getting plugged in with the right tax professional. Like I said, I gave you tons of different things to look out for. Make sure that you are filing your tax appointment ASAP. Make sure you have your tax checklist. If you don't have it, go ahead and send us a direct message so that we can send it out to you. Reach out to us, like I said, book your appointment, and keep tuning in to Financially Lit Tuesdays as well. So for those of you that are tuned in, make sure that you're heading to the Sipping Wealth YouTube channel so that you can hit the subscribe button, and make sure that you're sharing this with your families and friends, because why hold all this great knowledge for you, just yourself, right? So we want our family and friends to wealth up with us. So make sure that you're hitting that share button. Make sure that you're letting them know to tune in with you on Financially Lit Tuesdays. Thank you, Arthur. This is good information. I appreciate you, Arthur. You're awesome. All righty, y'all. So keep tuning in. I'll see you next Tuesday, every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., bringing you news, tips, and tricks on how to wealth up. All right, y'all. See you next Tuesday. Woo-woo.